What's up everyone, Matt here from Native Instruments. Today we are going to dive a bit deeper into the new Kontrol S-Series MK3. You can learn more or get yours today over at nativeinstruments.com or check out that link in the description below. Kontrol S-Series truly brings virtual instruments to life and lets you express yourself like never before. Let's check out how the latest integration works. The new keyboard features an onboard computer, and that makes browsing and navigating extremely fast. Let's just take a minute and check out some of these browsing features. So we have our different brands that you can browse through, and you get these nice big menus. Just go to Native Instruments. Here we have our products. You can select through different products. Why don't we go to Haifa? We can go to our banks, keys. You have different types, piano keys, subtypes, characters, and then browsing. Chimes is nice. Let's load that in. You can see the main page of the instrument has been completely reconfigured. We've put all the most important parameters and controls right here on the front page, so you have easy access just by opening the plugin. Let's just see what that's like. Change our cutoff. Control the sound sources. The play mode. Our chord types. And on top of that, what we've done is we've added an edit button. And this allows you to access all of the controls grouped by pages. So if you need to get to your filter, we can go to our filter and control all of the filter functions right here on the filter page. We can go to our effects tab. And you'll notice on the effects tab, you get these nice big on-off icons. We can go to the next tab. Let's turn on our cabinet. Get these nice, beautiful menus that show you what the cab types are. And if you want to access that classic view, you can just go back to the main page, hold shift, hit classic view, and now you can tab through all the pages and all the parameters of your instrument. Let's see what some of our other plugins look like. Let's go to the browser. Let's load Massive X. Again, you get this nice product image and all of the matching colored knobs to go underneath. Let's check out Playbox. The light guide shows you what you can play with Playbox. You get those matching parameters and that nice image right on top. Another thing you can do right from the keyboard is layer in different effects. So if we go to our browser, we can tab over here and then we can select a product. Let's go Native Instruments and we can scroll through different effects. Let's load Guitar Rig in there. So here we have Guitar Rig. We can go next preset. We can also go back to our browser and add an additional effect on top of that. Maybe we want flare. So there's a lot of really cool control you have right here on the keyboard of all your effects and your different instruments. Because the Kontrol S-Series MK3 has an onboard computer, you have hardware control right here on the device. So we can go to our settings, we can control our keybed, our pedals, our touch strip, which you can assign, our wheels such as pitch bend or modulation, and you can assign these program changes, control changes, you can set what MIDI channel they're on, and so much more. We now have direct integration with Kontakt 7, Komplete Control, many DAWs, and third-party NKS partner plugins. Let's see what it's like browsing through Kontakt 7 on the new Kontrol. Let's just scroll down to Native Instruments. We can browse through our products. Here's the same types where you can set attributes. That's cool, let's load that. So you can see on the screen, you get that direct integration. We can play through our keys. See the patterns lighting up the sounds. Play our own. Can tweak all the knobs. Let's check out a brass ensemble. Type, go to brass, scroll down to products. Here we go, and load. We have our brass ensemble loaded. You have all the same controls. You can flip through your pages here. It separates the instrument out on the light guide so you know which horn is in which octave. Let's just see what this sounds like here. You can also stack different instruments as multis. You just hit this arrow right here, go back to your browser, and then we can layer in some other elements. So maybe we want to load in some strings. Let's go down to the string ensemble and load that in. And now you're gonna see we have our string ensemble. If we scroll down in Kontakt, we have both of them stacked, which is really nice, and we can play them both at the same time. NKS brings all your software instruments, effects, loops, and samples into one intuitive workflow, creating seamless integration between NI and other leading developers. It gives you streamlined browsing, consistent tagging, instant sound previews, pre-mapped parameters, smart play features, and more. Now that you've seen in Kontakt, we're back in Complete Control, and let's load a third-party plugin. I think we're gonna go with Arturia's CS80. And I actually got some favorites saved here, so I'll just click my favorites tab, hit load, and there we are. Just like Native Instruments plugins, you see the NKS compatibility here, all those important controls right here on the front. If we click the edit, now we get to all our additional pages with functions in groups. So we can go to our VCO, VCFs, VCAs, all our modulation parameters. We can flip through, check out the arpeggiator, and there's so much control and it's so much easier to access these things with these grouped pages. In addition to NKS support with our partners, you can also click DAW and control essential information right here. Using the encoder, we can go back and forth through any of our tracks. You can control the volume by turning the encoder and it goes up in 1 decibel increments. And if you hold shift, you can do fine tuning. While holding shift, if you push up, you can control the pan, left and right. We have options for mute, so you can mute tracks up top and you get this nice color feedback. If you want to solo tracks, you can hold shift, it switches to solo, and then we can solo our tracks just like that. Over here in this group, you can select loop and turn your loop on and off. We can turn our metronome on and off. And if you hold shift and hit metronome, you can actually tap tempo. You have automation for automation on and off. Play, you can hold shift and hit play, it'll restart it, bring it to the beginning. We have stop and record. Using the knobs underneath, you can control the volume. And again, if you hold shift, you can go in more fine increments. Let's just hit record and see what the experience is like. I'm gonna turn the metronome on and automation, and let's hit it. Just like that, I was able to record a melody and some automation. Let's select our region here, and up in the top, you can hit quantize and quickly quantize all those notes. If you don't like what you did, you can hit undo, undo again, delete the whole thing, or you can hold shift and hit redo and bring it back. And whenever you're ready, you can hit plug in and get straight back to controlling your instruments. That's just a small overview of the DAW control on the new keyboards. In collaboration with Traktor, we have designed a polyphonic aftertouch keybed for the semi-weighted 49, 61, and the fully weighted 88 key Kontrol S-Series MK3. To understand how polyphonic aftertouch works, let's just start by breaking down monophonic aftertouch. So to do that, I'm gonna go to the settings, and we're gonna tab over to keybed, and I'm gonna change this to monophonic. I have a lead synth preset from Diva by Yuhi loaded, and how aftertouch works, it allows you to push a key, and then if you push a little further down and apply subtle pressure, it'll control a certain parameter. In this instance, it's opening a filter. So if we hold a chord, we can open the filter on all of those notes. Now, if I hold this chord and then play a higher note and push down, you're gonna notice it opens the filter on all of the notes. With polyphonic aftertouch, let's go to the settings and change this to polyphonic. You have the ability to apply subtle pressure to individual notes and have those control changes happen just to those notes. So for instance, we'll do the same thing. I'm gonna hold a chord, and let's play some high notes. Notice how this chord is still under a filter? Push down a little harder. So it really allows you to express yourself with just a keybed and applying subtle pressure to the keys and controlling all these different parameter changes. There's really nothing like the polyphonic aftertouch. It's such a special way to invoke emotion and feeling into what you're playing, and you can do it all right here from the keybed. Let's check out a few other examples of how polyphonic aftertouch works. For this one, we're back on Arturia's CS80. Let's just hold another chord down here. Watch what happens when I push down this note. Hear the vibrato? But the vibrato is only happening on that one note. It's not happening to the chord over here. Here we're using Haifa, and I have the polyphonic aftertouch mapped to control the filter cutoff. So when I push harder, it will open the filter, and it will also open the resonance of the filter. This is what that sounds like. And that's just scratching the surface of the polyphonic aftertouch on the Kontrol S-Series MK3. The top is a sleek black one-piece unibody shell. You'll notice there's no seams anywhere on the front of the keyboard. Kontrol MK3 is now featuring a large glass high-resolution screen, which provides all the information you need from browsing through your library to looking at your plugin and having ultimate control with all the parameters right in front of you. The buttons now contain a continuous surface, and we've grouped them all by function to make it easier to navigate. Over here, you can control your DAW, you can control your plugin, and get to your browser. These buttons up top will all change based off what's happening on the screen. So when we're browsing, it's gonna give us browsing options. If we're in our plugin view, it's gonna give us all the options to control the plugin. Over here we have Play Assist. This allows you to access your scale mode or arpeggiator mode. Again, you're gonna see these buttons change or light up based off what's happening on the screen. We can get to our settings for onboard settings. The two arrows below will control different pages depending on what function you're set to. So if we're in the plugin view, we're on edit mode, we can flip through different pages. Or if we're in the settings, again, you can flip through different pages. If you're back in the plugin view, you can use these two buttons here to go through different presets, and it lets you know the preset name right there. Over here you have your DAW control, and then on this side we have fixed velocity to keep all the keys the same velocity, or options to shift up and down by octave or semitone. These 8 knobs right here are touch sensitive, so if you go to control a parameter and it has a menu or some type of option, you're gonna see the information before you actually turn the knob. The encoder is anodized aluminum as well. It gives you 4-way control, also great for browsing. The pitch and mod wheel have an RGB LED built in. They're super tactile and durable. And on top of that, we've moved the touch strip above the pitch and mod wheel. And this makes it great for playability. You can control multiple things at one time. The best part about the touch strip is it now has onboard MIDI mapping. So you can simply go to your settings, tab over to touch strip, and then you can assign different control changes or program changes, and all of this is happening right here on the device. The light guide has been completely redesigned to provide vital information right at your fingertips, so here are a few examples. For this example, I have hypha loaded. Let's go to Play Assist and turn on scale mode, and you can instantly see that now we're in C major. The light guide lets you know. If we switch our root note over to D, now we're in D major. We can change that to minor, just like that. If we turn on our chord mode and you play a chord, you're gonna see the chord light up on the light guide. Here I have Empire Breaks loaded. In purple, these are my patterns. You can see over here it's actually triggering the sounds, and these sounds are separated by color. Here's my kick, different snares in yellow. Here I have Electric Mint. You can see when I trigger a note, it shows you the actual voicing being played with this note. Down here we have our key switches to change through different patterns. And you have some guitar effects with purple and green. And those are just a few examples of how the light guide has been redesigned. On top of that, if there's a selection of keys that are out of range for that instrument, those keys are just gonna be off and they're not gonna be lit up. So you know exactly what you can play and what you can't. There are also some additional features in the settings tab. You can now turn the light guide on and off. So if you don't want it on, you can just simply turn it off. You have brightness control, and you can customize it and make it your own by changing the color selection. And this is all on board the MK3. And what's really nice is it's actually changing all the colors together, including the touch strip, the pitch and mod wheels, and the encoder. The S-Series MK3 gives you all the onboard ports you need to keep you in control. Let's check them out now. USB-C bus powered with MIDI 2.0. You also get a USB-C power supply port, which you can use for running this in MIDI mode to control other synthesizers. Or if your computer doesn't have USB-C, you'll need to provide extra power by using a USB-C power supply. You get sustain, expression, and 2 additional pedal inputs that are fully assignable on board. You just go to that settings tab, head over to pedals, and then you can control all of these pedals, assign 1, assign 2, which mode they're in, and you have different pages and different control changes for each one, all assignable right here on the device. You get 5-pin MIDI in and out, so if you want to control those external synths, you can just plug it right in. And that's the Kontrol S-Series MK3. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. And if you want to learn more, head over to nativeinstruments.com.